Some critics have described experiments similar to the one the play depicts as a foolish risk. Do you agree with the description? Why or why not?
I agree with the description that it is a foolish risk because the doctors are messing with the patient's life by increasing their dosage day in and day out. This is messing with their psychological habits and their brain, and it's ruining their relationships and their lives.
No. No. I believe it's foolish also because it's not right what they're doing. It's unethical to give them dosages of something that they don't know. First of all, even though they signed a waiver for it, as well as giving the doctor a dosage, not and her not knowing, which is an unethical issue and foolish.
What other examples of behaviors in the play would you classify as foolish? I would classify the part when they went out into the forest and started smoking a cigarette and and just enhancing their relationship and talking. I thought that was very foolish because it messes with the dosages that the doctors prescribed, and that's what happened in the end when Lorna came out and it was mad because it can mess up the data. But I think that was foolish because it can mess up their brains, and just smoking a cigarette can mess with the hormone that's used.
I think a foolish part of the play, or the people did, was when they had sex, which because they claimed that they love each other when they were having sex, but they weren't. But due to them both being on the hormone or the agent, that may not be true. So and that also ruined the I guess the trial because the trial was manipulated in a way that the researcher that Lorna did not want it to happen.
What do you believe motivated Lorna to go through with the experiment? I think what motivated Lorna was her relationship with Toby and how they had relationships on that conference and that they went together. I think that she was doing it for him and just their pre-relations together.
I think Lorna did it for science because she's a doctor and she knows that if she were to not go through with the experiment or with the trials, that it would be an invalid, and then they wouldn't be able to publish the results, which was the whole point of it, to be able to publish the results and tell people what was going on. So by her not going through with it, that wouldn't have happened. So she had to do it as science and making it valid.
What do you think happened with Lorna at the end of the play? I think that she took a pill that ultimately killed herself based off depression because her depression was so heightened with everything that has happened with Toby, with the problem with the male actor and how he had to go to the hospital. So I think that depression, it just boiled up, and she wanted to end her life by taking a pill to kill herself.
I also believe that she took a pill to kill herself. As right when she took the pill, she swallowed it. The play said "end experiment." So I think her taking the pill was, I think that she went through the experiment and realized that this was so manipulative and unethical that she couldn't just stand it anymore, and that it was rude what Toby did. He completely betrayed her. First by sleeping with her and then saying that it was like she was the only one. And I think she was depressed throughout after that. Even though he said he didn't cause it, he may have enhanced it. And I think it was just getting so bad for her that she couldn't do it anymore, so she had to kill herself.
Based on what you know about relationships, what do you think will happen to Tristan and Connie after the end of the play? I think that they will remain together because of all the work that Connie did. She came to see Tristan after every single day in the hospital and worked with him to get him back together. So I think that based off their relationships in the testing location, that they will restore that based off Connie's mindset to get Tristan back to being a regular human.
I think their relationship's gonna burn out and not last because they were on drugs while they so claimed that they were in love. And I think that even though Connie does all these things to try to help Tristan and make him um, better and stays with him the entire time, I think their relationship's eventually gonna burn out because who knows if they actually love each other? They may not due to the drugs enhancing that they did. So I think eventually gonna get bored with one another and the relationship.
How did the play relate to ethics of experiments and experiments? I think that the ethics of just how the experimenters want to make the most money and get their agent out to the public, and that they would do anything to the experimenters just to make sure that the agent works. Like this, how they kept on increasing the dosage once Lorna said that she didn't want to do it anymore. So I think that's an ethical issue about always increasing the dosage and ignoring all potential risks just to get it done.
Another ethical issue that was seen was the fact that Lorna was not told that she was being drugged, that Toby was just doing it because she was the real experiment, that she was being tested, which is why she flipped out on him, yelling at him that why am I tested? So that's an ethical issue to not tell somebody that they're taking a drug while giving it to them, because they don't know about it, and that could have long term effects on them or short term, which could be deadly or harmful to them, and it can make her depression worse or necessarily make it her life worse, not better.
What do you believe the playwright Lucy Preble is saying about psychological experiments and research? I think that she's saying, like what I said before, about how the experimenters only care about making money and getting their agent out, that they don't care about the human risks and potential things that could happen to the experimenters with always increasing the dosages and these terrible things that are happening.
I think that what Lucy's saying about the whole idea of these experiments and trials is that for these to actually be valid and go through and have a purpose, that everyone has to be on the same page. That you can't just be testing people without them knowing about it, which is completely unethical. That everyone has to know they're being tested, what they're being tested for, what's being given to them, how much, when, why, and how. And I think that's what she meant. That you can't just give people pills without them knowing about it or the agent. And yeah.